Coming up next on Double Take Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers, we will have Quiz-mania question of the day along with Double Take Sports Core. And we'll have predictions for, of course, today's games along with our Quiz-mania answer and then final thoughts. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Double Take Sports Talk is next.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, this is the Double Take Sports Talk show with the Watch Brothers. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Daryl and Darren Watts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Double Take Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers. Welcome to our podcast with me, Darren Watts. Say hello to Darren Watts II. What's going on?
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our podcast, Darren Watts. What's happening?
What's going on?
It is another day.
Another day. A whole brand new day. And so with that whole brand new day, we have Quiz-mania question of the day, and then we have Double Take Sports Core. We're going to actually sit down and take a look at some of last night's games, have a good discussion about it, debates necessary, whatever. And then we have the predictions for today's games. And then we're using the 2K app, and then we'll have the Quiz-mania answer, and then our final thoughts. Daryl, ready to do it?
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
Quiz-mania. Daryl, floor is yours.
All right. Darren, you should remember this one pretty well. You may not, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out here anyway. All right. Quiz-mania question of the day for April 18th, 2018. This MLB pitcher who had the fastest pitch speed in 2015 gave up a home run in the 2016 World Series. Who was this player and what was the pitch speed and pitch type?
MLB pitcher recorded the fastest speed.
Pitch speed. Yeah, pitch speed.
I don't remember that. When was this? In what, 2015?
Well, that's just the leeway to the question, but the actual, he had the fastest pitch in 2015. That's kind of like a clue to give. But the real thing is that the question is who was the player that gave up the home run in 2016 in the World Series? What was the pitch speed and the pitch type?
So let me read the question again.
This MLB pitcher who had the fastest pitch speed in 2015 gave up a home run in the 2016 World Series. Who is the player and what was the pitch speed and pitch type?
MLB recorded fastest speed in 2015. MLB pitcher recorded the fastest speed in 2015, gave up a home run in 2016. Who was the player and pitch type? Who was the player?
Remember, this is World Series. This is the World Series.
So who was the player as in the pitcher that gave up that home run?
Yes. What was the pitch speed and what was the pitch type?
Oh, what was the speed and the pitch type? So we're not saying who the player is?
Yeah, you're saying who the player is.
So who the player, speed, and pitch type.
Yep. Who was the player that who was the pitcher, I should say. Who was the pitcher that gave up the home run? What was the pitch speed and the pitch type?
And just for the fun of it, I might just give out the person who actually smacked that home run.
Yeah, so now you remember.
No, I do not. I don't even remember the. I don't remember the World Series in 2016 too well, except for that damn rain delay that got on my nerve. That's the only thing I really remember. I don't remember anything else beyond that. I just remember dropping you off, and Cleveland smacked a 3-run home run to tie the game. I got home, and I sat here. It's the only thing I remember. It's the only thing I remember. And I remember killing myself trying to figure out if the Cubs was going to finally win a World Series, and that killed me. What are you laughing at?
We get to that when we get to the Quiz-mania answer. I'll tell you what I'm laughing at. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Quiz-mania. That's your Quiz-mania question of the day. It may not have to be, but we'll give you the answer later on in our podcast. All right. Double Take Sports Court. So, Darren, whenever you're getting ready, the floor is yours.
All right, Double Take Sports Court. We are going to recap one of last night's game and probably more perspective, because this is one of the teams that were not really on the map. They were not on the map, but we just talked about them in the week of review very briefly. I'm trying to find something real quick that would kind of help me. Here we go. Let's dig deeper into the New Orleans Pelicans. They finished the season 48-34 on the year, got the 6th seed. Portland got the 3rd seed and finished the season 49-33. Taking a look at this matchup, Daryl, the New Orleans Pelicans took away home court advantage over the Portland Trailblazers, probably one of the more greater backcourts in the NBA that I can imagine in years, from Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson of this generation, and of course Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum themselves, and then there's one more great backcourt that I'm not thinking about right now. Who is it? Daggone it, there's one more set of backcourts that's very good in the NBA right now, and I forgot who it was. There's Portland.
So did I.
There's Portland. There's Golden State. There's one more, and I know it's going to kill me until I figure it out. Let's see. We have Toronto. That's what it is. Toronto. Them are the 3 greater backcourts from back in the day. I mean, from now in the generation. And back in our time, Daryl, back in the 90s, there was the Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson being more, to me personally, the more underrated point guard in the NBA. He wasn't Stephen Curry. He wasn't a Damian Lillard. He was more of a Magic Johnson point guard type of ordeal. But taking a look at the New Orleans Pelicans, Daryl, looking at them, they look good. And what do you believe is setting off the New Orleans Pelicans in this 7-game series with the Portland Trailblazers? Because Portland got a lot of work to do now. They got a lot of work to do to steal 2 from them.
I'm going to tell you, I ain't never seen so much production. Never seen so much production from not Portland, New Orleans Pelicans itself.
Yeah.
Never. This right here has really set the tone for them individually and as a team. You go back to game one. Anthony Davis had 35 points and 14 boards in that win. Drew Holiday had 21 points. Dished out 17 assists. That's all game one. Nikola Mirotic, he had 16 points, 11 boards. He had a double-double. The all-around production. The bench don't even have to produce a lot to get this team going.
And you're absolutely right. Because you're looking at I'm looking at game two. There is no production from the bench. It's all in the starting lineup with Drew Holiday, Rondo, Anthony Davis. That's where it's coming from.
Davis, 22 points. He had 22 points and 13 boards. Drew Holiday had 33 points and 9 assists. And Rajon Rondo, he was a near triple-double. He had
16 points.
10
rebounds.
9 boards, 10 boards, and 9 assists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That right there. And Nikola Mirotic had 17 points and 8 boards. That's a big deal.
So here's the question. Who do you believe has set off this team as an individual to make everybody else better? Who do you believe set that off?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday?
Yes.
Drew Holiday. I got to be fair with you when I say this, and I believe that both Drew Holiday and Rajon Rondo.
I agree because they're both playmakers.
Yes.
They're both playmakers, but Rajon Rondo, I don't think Rajon Rondo was playing for Pelicans last year, right?
No, he wasn't. No.
Okay,
but
so
I believe that them two help.
Yeah, because the reason why I say that was because had Drew Holiday played last year, they would have gotten a playoff spot and they would have been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But since he missed almost the whole entire year, that really took away their chances. And Drew Holiday, now that he's playing, they have really produced a lot more than what they did last year without him. So with him being healthy, he's looking good. He's looking real good. And that's why I have personally believed that he was also the missing piece. Rajon Rondo is just – he's just there. He's just being himself. That's an additional.
Mm-hmm.
That's an additional.
But here's the thing. He may be an additional, but here's what sets them two out from everybody else. Like you said, they are both playmakers. But here's the thing about Rajon Rondo that sets himself apart from Drew Holiday. Rajon Rondo is more of attack a paint like you. You attack the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Holiday can do both. Attack the paint, set up for a jump, set up for a three-pointer. He can shoot along with playmaking. So with him being in that shooting guard position, he is now a shooting guard, point guard, playmaker / shooter. Rajon Rondo is a pure point guard, pure playmaker.
Yes, he is.
Pure.
I agree.
And with Drew Holiday having that total package as a point guard and a shooting guard, that helped not only Drew Holiday, but it also helped with Rajon Rondo coming in to fill in that big role of playmaking. If Rajon Rondo did not come to the team, it would be a lot more pressure on Drew Holiday himself. But because Rajon Rondo came onto the team to help, that set them both as a better backcourt, and they could be
absolutely
on the top with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, and DeMar DeRozan, and Kyle Lowry. That could set them apart. That could pretty much put them in that elite. So,
and it has, and putting the icing on the cake is the fact that Drew Holiday did need that help. He did need that help. He needed that help because, as a two-way player, you're going to also got to have somebody that also is going to help set up your play when you're get ready to attack. Because if you can't set it up, you can attack. But if you can't do both, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So Rajon Rondo is the main reason why they could be able to set that up. And Drew Holiday is also the other reason why he can actually set them up, attack, and score, just like Rajon Rondo. They both got the total package to actually attack, score, and do everything. They're pretty much, to me, they have really shown with the Portland Trailblazers, but they also got the potentials to get to the Western Conference Finals. It won't be easy.
Yeah,
it won't be easy. I'm gonna tell you that now. Now, I'm not a New Orleans fan. I'm gonna tell you that now. I'm not a New Orleans fan, but I sure like their chances.
Me too.
I like their chances.
I mean, it's not for me. It's not about being a fan of them, but I'm liking what they're doing. I really do. I like that they put DeMarcus Cousins on the team, although he is out for the rest of the year. Anthony Davis needing that extra help in the paint, and Drew Holiday and Rajon Rondo coming back. They are now a legitimate threat in the West. To me, personally, I really do think that they are a threat in the West.
Absolutely.
They are absolutely a threat in the West. So
absolutely,
it's just something to think about. So in that meantime, or something else to think about is going into tonight's game. It's the preview of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers game down at the Quick Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Take a look at this quick matchup. The Pacers won that previous matchup 98-80 back on April 15th. They won game one. They stole game one from Cleveland. Preview for it. We'll find out in the predictions part of our podcast if we pick the Pacers or the Cavs. But in the meantime, just a little bit of a quick highlight, real quick. Victor Oladipo had 32 points. Miles Turner had 8 rebounds, and Derek Collison had 6 assists. LeBron James led the scorers in Cleveland with 24 points, and Kevin Love led it in rebounds with 17. And LeBron James led all assist leaders with 12. Daryl, again, I stress this. So, again, I say, when I say this, you had a very difficult time trying to get past the Pacers getting swept by Cleveland last year. That game 3 collapse, everything like that. Do you see that happening again this year?
Well, the sweep is not obviously happening because the Pacers won. And on top of that, my confidence has shot up. That's shot up big time because, for one thing, the Pacers has really shown that their defense can hold together, because that was the problem last year, was the defense. That was the whole entire problem. And also, they had Kyrie Irving last year too. So that changes the whole complexion of how the Cavs are playing now and how the Pacers are playing now versus last year's Pacer defense and the Cavaliers' comeback win in Game 3. So that really takes away – no, that really is a feeling up to this point. Victor Oladipo's playing well. His defense is playing well. Thaddeus Young is playing well. Well, not really to the point, but he's contributing, a little more. Miles Turner needs to do, because he don't have Paul George by his side in his ear, breathing in his ear, talking about, hey, I need the ball, yo. Stuff like that. He's able to go out there productively on offense and defense. He's able to shoot the outshot shots, and they're not afraid to do it. Miles Turner's not scared to do it. Derek Collison is being more productive, and
everybody's being
this has really changed the whole. Yep, Lance Stevenson, Darren Collison, they are all playing well. Even the bench is playing better. The bench, and that was the main focal point, even from when LeBron James was in Miami. That was the whole problem. The bench. they needed a bench. And the bench has came out as well, too. So my confidence has pretty much changed. And now, although I've said this before, too, I have a feeling that the referees was going to try to give Cleveland an edge. And they almost did. That's why they had cut the lead to 6 or 7 at the end of 3 quarters. Because during that, they had called 3 fouls, non-contact, or a hand check. That right there made me nervous. That made me nervous.
Because Victor Oladipo is a ripper. He's a ripper.
Yes.
So now he has to learn how to use his hands in a different way. Instead of reaching in, he has to learn how to intercept. Hip a pass.
I don't think it was Victor Oladipo though.
Well, even if just add, because he's the one that's actually ripping balls from defenders anyway. But per se, just for him, he can, get better with his hands in different ways.
Right. And that right there was like, where's this Pacers? This was real because they have forced them into 17 turnovers.
Here's the thing.
17.
And here's another thing, and I said this at the beginning of the series, before the series even has started. I said one of the ways that the Pacers are going to – the only way that the Pacers will have a competitive edge over Cleveland is if they shoot the ball better, particularly from three-point land. Game 1, they made 11 of their three-pointers. They shot their lights out.
Yeah, they shot their lights out.
In particular. He only missed 3 three-pointers.
I'm going to tell you who really disappointed me on the three-point line. Bojan Bogdanovic. He only hit 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of disappointed me. I expect him to turn it around tonight. I really do. I expect him to turn around. Victor Oladipo's going to be the same.
For Bojan Bogdanovic, I think for him, it was the nerve jitters. Now that game 1's out of the way, I think he's going to feel a lot more comfortable shooting the basketball tonight. I really do. I honestly do think that.
He's going to feel more confident. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Victor Oladipo, he's going to be out there just playing his heart out.
Because he knows he's a legitimate
Victor Oladipo.
They are more of a contender now. And he feels that.
And this is what happens when you overlook. This is what happens when you overlook people like Victor Oladipo. He is the reason why the Pacers are where they're at right now.
Man.
He's the reason.
I would love for the Pacers to beat Cleveland in this series because I want the work of Kevin Pritchard. Even if the Pacers don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, I just want Kevin Pritchard's work to be shown to Dan Gilbert. Dan Gilbert sat there and told Kevin Pritchard, what did you get out of that whole ordeal with Victor Oladipo? What did you get? Look where y'all at now. Pacers wasn't even really a playoff team at the time. Pacers was not a playoff team. When they picked up Victor Oladipo, they were nowhere near a playoff team. And here they are a playoff team now. They're a playoff team now. So, Dan Gilbert, I would love to see Kevin Pritchard's work show out for him. Not him to show out, but just his work particularly. To Dan Gilbert, it's like, well, you may think that we didn't get nothing out of that Victor Oladipo trade, but we got something out of it. We got a playoff spot, and he almost personally beat y'all in game 1 because he committed. Let's see, what am I looking at here? I don't see it on here either. Because I wanted to see how many steals he got. Here it is right here. He had 4 steals.
4 steals.
Yeah, 4 steals.
Yes,
so that defensive effort is what makes everybody else on the floor as a Pacer better. Much better. So it's I just want Kevin Pritchard's work to be shown. I really do. And so far, game 1 showed that. And the season itself. After that.
Let me just say this. I want to go back to what you said about Dan Gilbert, saying that would you Sabonis and Victor Oladipo traded Paul George to Oklahoma City. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to answer that question for you. So, Dan Gilbert talking to me? Okay. What'd you get down that trade to Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo when you traded Paul George? Okay. Let me ask you a question. What was the largest lead? Game 1. 23.
Yeah. 20.
That's what we got. So, If you want to sit up here and talk about, oh, I'm going to question that ability, let me question your ability. What happened when LeBron James left Cleveland? Which I do then.
Or
not a damn thing.
And even at that, what happened with your whole trade ordeal? What happened with your whole trade ordeal? What did you get out of that?
Yeah, what'd you get out of that?
You know, so
yeah, y'all started sparking a fire, but it hasn't really proven that y'all legitimate. Y'all let a higher lower seed lead y'all by 23 points in game one. It did take the series lead 3-1.
Beat y'all in the season 3 times.
3 times.
They could only beat Cleveland 3 times last year.
Nope.
I think they only beat them twice. I think the series was tied.
I think the series tied.
And you beat them 3-1? 3-1. That means you took, I think they took one home game away from them.
Yeah, you might be right.
2 and 2. Yeah, they had to take a home game away from them. 3-1? Cleveland only won at home.
They had to take a home game away from them.
Yeah, Cleveland only won at home. They didn't win at Baker's Life.
Nope. They never won at Baker's Life. It was a quicker longs. They won at home.
And that was the only game they won. Yeah.
Yep,
okay, so yeah. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. But, you know, we'll see what happens with Game 2 tonight. Game 2 tonight would be a very important aspect because I'm not going to watch that game. I'm not watching it.
I ain't watching it.
I just want to know.
I'll keep track of it, but I ain't watching it.
Absolutely. I just want to know the outcome of Game 2. But we'll find out what happens in Game 2. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Double Take Sports Court. Hope you enjoy it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for, you see your screens, it's time for our predictions via 2K app. So, Darren, whenever you're good and ready, the floor is yours.
All right. Games for April 18th, 2018. Let's start off with game number 1, game 2, between the Indiana Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Daryl, when you are good and ready using the 2K app, who do you have for the Pacers Cavaliers game?
Hometown. Gotta go with them.
Yeah, gotta go with the hometown. I have a feeling that Cleveland's going to win, but I'm going to stick with the blue and gold. I'm going with the Pacers.
So am I. Absolutely. Yeah, I think the same thing. I have a feeling that Cleveland's going to win too. Well, of course, gotta stick with the blue and gold.
I'm sorry. Today, with this in particular game, I'm not using my instincts. I just gotta stick with the hometown, regardless to the fact.
Yeah, gotta stick with the hometown, regardless. Absolutely. I agree.
So, all right. So here's game number 2. Game 2. Wait. Is this game 2? Jazz and Cavs?
Yeah, this is game 2. Game number 2, game 2.
Okay, game 2, number 2. Yeah, game number 2, game 2. We have the Utah Jazz and the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're using the 2K app when you are good and ready. Who do you have for the Jazz Thunders game? I don't want to.
I don't want to, but I went and picked the Thunder.
Yeah, I went on pick the Thunder too. I didn't want to, but I'm going to pick them. I really don't feel comfortable picking them, but I'm going to pick them anyway.
Yeah, good. Pick them anyway. All lives.
No kidding. And then for the last game, game number 3. Game number 3, game 2 between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Houston Rockets. Daryl, when you are good and ready, who do you have for the Timberwolves Rockets game?
I went on to pick them. I picked the Rockets. The only way the Timberwolves can beat the Rockets is they slow down that hot fire James Harden. They got to cool him down.
Yeah, they got to cool him down. That's the only way to be able to win.
They got to cool him down.
Defense is going to be.
I don't know. He's James Harden's going to be the key for this.
Well,
good Jesus.
For Houston, yes, but for
their
defense,
right?
gonna have to stop him.
Right. I was just saying it's a point that Jason Hart is just an unconscious dude. Man, it's so bad, man. You can't even wake him up from the dead. He is just lighting them up.
Yeah, he's lighting them up. He's lighting them up. So, Daryl, them are the 3 games today. Let's hit the submit button to let the NBA app add 2K know that we voted and won our beats. And there it is. They have received our votes. And ladies and gentlemen, there it is using the NBA 2K app. We have put in our predictions for today's game, April 18, 2018.
Okay, before we get to the Quiz-mania Quiz-mania question of the day, the makeup for today's Cubs and Cardinals game will be set for tomorrow. That'll be at 1:20 p.m. pitch off. So, that being said, staying into the subject of baseball, Quiz-mania, and we see got we've been having some pretty long downtime. I think Darren been trying to do his research on this. It looks like he has been having some sincere trouble. But it looked like he finally figured it out. So
I got to be honest with you. I don't know if I did. I honestly
don't. Okay. Before we get to it, let me just reread this question again. This MLB pitcher who had the fastest pitch speed in 2015 gave up a home run in the 2016 World Series. Who is this player? Well, who is this pitcher? And what was the pitch speed and pitch type?
Now, I think you're laughing at me for a reason.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I think you're laughing at me because I think I'm right on it and I failed to see it. So I'm going to go with my gut instinct here and my instinct, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I believe this answer is going to be.
Okay.
We're going to take back to the 2016 World Series. What game was this? I have no idea what game. Okay, Game 7. We'll go back to Game 7, and we'll go back to the bottom of the 8th. On a 2-2 pitch, Rajaji Davis home runs to bring in 2 scores to tie that game at 6-6 apiece. It was a 97.1 mile an hour fast. No, I'm sorry.
Repeat that answer because you froze up. I'm sorry. Repeat that answer. You froze up on me.
Rajaji Davis home run to left field. That was a 2-run shot to make that game 6-6 apiece. It was a 97.1 mile an hour fastball. I'm sorry, change up to tie that game. That's what I think, and I'm going to stick with it.
Who was the pitcher?
Who's
the pitcher?
Hang on 1 second. Hang on. I got him. Adonis Chapman.
Yeah, Adonis Chapman. Yes, it was. That's why I was laughing at you because you gave the answer at the beginning of the show.
I gave it out, and I didn't even know that was it. I just knew when you gave that out, it's like, you're going to remember this. I'm like, well, I don't remember this. Here's what I do remember. I do remember dropping you off, and the Cubs shot a 2. They shot a 2-run shot. Tied the game at 6 apiece. And I remember coming home, driving me crazy because of inclement weather. Yep. And I had it right the whole time. I just gave it away the whole time. Oh, I'm sure I'm going to remember it. I don't remember it.
I said you was gonna remember too. You tell it there, you just blurt it all out because that was the bigger part. Because I remember because we had just got off of work.
Yep.
You was dropping me off at home, and my phone got hot on me, and I was trying to keep track of it, and I couldn't. And then when we got close to the crib, I seen the score had changed. I was like, oh, this ain't good. I stormed in the house, figured it out, and seen that Rajah Davis hit that 2-run shot. I was hot. Yeah. Oh, that was too funny.
That was a day I will never forget.
Yeah, okay, man.
We had a podcast set for that night.
Yes, we did. I remember that.
Chicago Cubs series. I do remember
that. Yeah. I think that's on our old YouTube channel. That podcast.
I might rewatch that.
I'm going to rewatch that again. Yeah, I remember because we came a long way. Yeah. So, of course, Aroldis Chapman was the pitcher. That was a 97.1 mile an hour changeup that gave Rajah Davis the 2-run shot to tie the game up at the bottom of the 8th. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Quiz-mania. Question of the day for April 18th, 2018. All right, final thoughts. Gary, you got anything for us?
No.
Neither do I. Neither do I. So.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Slick it D, because I sure was going to miss it. Yeah. I just seen a whole bunch of arm movements, so otherwise I'd have missed that one. Yeah. I definitely going to miss that one.
Yeah.
So if there's nothing else, we can wrap this up and get on out of here.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Double Take Sports Talk. If you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up. How you feel about today's show? Just comment in the comment section as usual. We're on the social media sites, of course, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's up there. You know, if there's anything in particular, doesn't matter which, doesn't have to be sports, of course. And maybe we'll share them on the air. So we're also on iTunes. You can download our episode there too. So until then, I'm Durham. Opposite side, Darren Watt. All right, catch up with us on another episode of Double Take Sports Talk. Until then, ciao. Double Take Sports Talk here with me, Daryl Watts. Now, there's an understatement that always goes, that has always been true from day one when sports decided to come out, is that it can be very unpredictable. And of course, that's always been the statement, that's always been so true. And depending on how you look at it, it can be very unpredictable. But with Double Take Sports Talk, we just throw some entertainment in there. Even if we don't get predictions right or theories don't come out right, we always just throw a little entertainment into the mix. So why not just have a little fun with it? That's how predicting can be so fun if you make an entertainment out of it. But other than that, of course, I'm all for it. But anyway, we're on social media around the globe here. We're on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can hit us up on our fan page at the Watch Brothers. You can hit us up on Twitter at DTST2414. And, of course, you can hit us up on Instagram, Double Take Sports Talk. So, YouTube, subscribe. You can share. You can do all the good stuff. Do anything that you like. We're just trying to grow a podcast here, folks. We're also on the iTunes. You can download our episodes there. We're on the video, of course, and we're on the audio portion too. So either way that you can enjoy this podcast, you can do it audio, you can do it on video. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the podcast. And until then, ciao.